This is the story about how becoming a mom
changes you as a woman.
When I look into my child's face, their first laugh, their embrace, I forget myself and I'm floating in space.
Secretly wish your husband stayed home and you went to work?
What's clear here is that Dad has way too much time on his hands.
Think a dad could do just as good of a job as a mom? How does it affect men when they are the ones in charge of the kids?
Woohoo!
They never will have the maternal instinct that we do.
I could be a stay-at-home dad in a second.
Not in a million years. I just think he would go insane.
Well, it took me about 30 days with a newborn to get my confidence and get a routine, and after that, it was the best job in the world, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Today, we're talking to stay-at-home dads, Greg Maxwell and Andrew Brown, as we discuss the question, what is it like being a stay-at-home dad? How did you and your wife decide for you to be the sort of the primary caretaker?
Well, it was at a point where her income was greater than mine. So I was more in a position to take that sacrifice.
Go mommy.
You know?
Staying at home was a big decision, and then doing that, and then you kind of miss out on being in the game of actually being an adult.
It was hard. I mean, because I worked forever, and then when I would go to like a dinner party with my husband, and you know, people do the what do you do? What do you do?
I would just say I'm a plus one. People would ask me, they go, what do you do? I go, I'm a plus one. Just my wife said you want to talk to.
I'm a plus one. I think the way moms and dads parent are so different. Like, I think moms are just more cautious and we're like worried our kids are going to get hurt. I would say like the dads just, I think, empower the kids a lot more.
As a dad, I mean, I wanted my kids to, push the envelope.
There was one little incident that happened. When the kid throws a fit and just drops to the ground, you can actually dislocate the elbow.
You dislocated Meredith's elbow?
I dislocated my daughter's elbow, yes. It was
pushing
awful.
that envelope?
How did Linda feel about that? How did that go over?
I got the stare.
When your wife comes home from work, is she like expecting for like the house to be clean and for dinner to be on the table?
Several times I've done this where I'll be putting the kids down, I'll make a really nice dinner, and then I came in and she ate her whole meal without me, and even though my meal was on the other side, she said,
"Oh, that's bad."
She goes, "Oh, we're gonna have dinner together." I was like, well, we were going to.
Oh my God! So it's the same thing that happens to us. Right. Same exact deal.
Well, yeah, but Michelle would basically set out like a week's menu and want this, prepared, whatever, a certain meal prepared.
Wow.
Well, I mean, it was basic stuff.
Sometimes my husband would come home and, he would start complaining about things.
Well, it's the micromanaging.
My wife would say a lot of times that, well, this is very common behavior, or, the way you should have handled it was this way.
Oh, that literally, to me, that literally makes the hair on the back of my neck go up. I'm like, that.
And then I'm like, well, is that what the book says? Because the book's not here, and the book's not real.
And there is no book, by the way.
Noah would be crying as she walks through the door.
Right?
It just shoots the whole thing.
I know, and you're like, no, it really wasn't like this before you hear everything was calm, and they come in, and it's like,
My husband and I are 50-50 on the chores. So he's in charge of the kitchen, and then I do the windows and everything else that comes with it, laundry and all that kind of stuff. Do you divide up?
I'm pretty much the house manager.
And then what about the cooking? My husband takes care of the cooking.
I love cooking. It's something that I prefer to do.
Do you just do like frozen dinners, or are you doing healthy meals?
I take the time with it, and so I try to make it as healthy as possible with a lot of greens, and you make sure the kids eat right. Way better than what I ever ate.
So really like fresh and healthy foods.
Do you guys want some salad dressing on it?
Yeah.
Which one do you want? Okay.
Well, I remember the first time because our kids go to school together, and I get this call kind of asking you on a date, but it was a play date, and he's like, "Hi, this is Maxwell."
I found that being a dad, you had to really put yourself in and try to get into the conversations and into the groups, because nobody was really asking you to.
Yeah.
And my wife often told me, she goes, no matter what you do, you can't be what these women want to be with women.
Well, it's the same, women are kind of the outsiders on the corporate world, and it's
exactly.
like you guys are like in the 1950s,
we have
corporate world,
reversal
role
both ways.
reversal,
Yes.
Absolutely.
And it's both ways. So when she does come home, she'll want to cuddle with me, and I don't want to be touched.
Oh my God, that's great! I love that because I'm the same way. And next time you see that dad at carpool or at the park, you may want to schedule a play date or strike up a conversation. It seems it doesn't matter which parent stays home. We all need the same support system to make parenting life a little easier. Remember, we're all in this together. We want to know what's going on in your mom life.
So come visit our community at jenandbarb.com.
This episode is brought to you by Windex and Kraft Salad Dressing. Well, any women hitting on you?
Yes.
Yes?
I'm trying to think about it, say it without. One time I actually had one that was saying, do you have my number? And I pulled my cell phone out to put her number in, and she actually wrote it on my hand.
Ooh.
And of course, I ran to the car and I called my wife and I go, I just got hit on. And she was like, oh my God, by who? And I told her, she goes, oh, she's cute.